Hello and welcome to Natural Healing with Oriental Medicine. I'm Grant Boxleitner, and our topic today is facial treatment. And right now I'd like to send it out to the president of East West College, Russell Battiato.
I'm Russ Battiato, campus president at East West College of Natural Medicine. Last year in this country, Americans spent nearly $16 billion trying to improve their appearance. There are a myriad of procedures, surgeries, products, and professionals out there if you are so inclined. But did you know that acupuncture and Oriental medicine can be effective as an anti-aging therapy? It's painless, affordable, and effective. On today's program, we'll be discussing just that.
Thank you for that. So now let's go out to the East West College of Natural Medicine again and see a facial treatment demo up close with Dr. Brandon Fuller.
Thank you, Grant. Hi, I'm Dr. Brandon Fuller of East West College of Natural Medicine, and today we have Eva here with us, and we'll be discussing how we as a natural medicine do facial rejuvenation. And there's many different ways within Oriental medicine to do facial rejuvenation. We have acupuncture, and we can do whole body treatments which help the digestive system, which will help have the appearance of healthier skin overall along the body. We can also do local facial treatments to help with wrinkles. We have little facial cups that we can go through. But particularly my favorite is injection therapy for the face. What we can do is actually use a homeopathic substance called placenta compositum and help fill in some of those lines. What it actually does is, as we put the needle under the skin just very slightly, we cause what's called little micro traumas. And these little micro traumas will create a little traumatic area, and then the body brings fresh blood flow to the area, which helps produce collagen. And that collagen helps fill in our lines and our wrinkles, right? So this is a completely all-natural way to fill in these lines and wrinkles. Generally, what we can use is anything all-natural. So, as I said before, we would fill in with placenta compositum, or we could fill in with any other type of homeopathic. I particularly prefer the placenta compositum because it adds that nice glow, that nice shine to the face after the injections. So what we'll do is we'll give you a little demo of how this happens. Now it's kind of similar if you were to go and get Botox. Botox, they have these very specialized needles, and these needles are actually very fine, very minute. Most patients won't even feel these injections. So what we do is we just find whatever line, whatever area that the patient is looking for, and we look at the way our needle is. We want what's called the bevel. So all needles have a little angle and come to a point. That's called the bevel. We want that facing up, right? Because we don't want to pour the solution towards the bone. We want it to fill in towards the wrinkle. So what we're going to do is just slide the needle under the skin, and then I'm going to wiggle a little bit. And that wiggling causes the micro trauma. And as I'm wiggling, I'm placing some of that placenta compositum underneath that line. And there we have it. And how was that, Eva? Was that painful at all?
No, not at all. Yeah. Just more the pressure of your hand.
And so this is a beautiful, all-natural way to treat facial wrinkles. You know, one of the statistics that I've read recently, and I think Russ had mentioned it at the beginning of this episode, is that last year it was over $16 billion was spent on not just facial but beauty adjustments for the body. So that could mean liposuction, that could mean all sorts of things. But what I've read about is that it was actually over 7 million treatments of facial Botox. So that's Botox, that's fillers, all of those sorts of areas for facial injections. Now, what does that equate to? You have to think each treatment is about $384 or so almost $400. When we total that up to 7 billion treatments, or 7 million, excuse me, that's over $2 billion. That's almost $3 billion. Now, these all-natural treatments that we can do here are $100 a treatment. And usually we say, we'd like to see you 10 treatments, and then you're good for about a year. Now think about that, $1,000 a year, whereas Botox might last 3-4 months, and you're going back for more, right? This is all natural. Your body doesn't recognize this as foreign. It recognizes it as something that it can use to help rebuild and repair the area. Whereas Botox, we're looking at something like a foreign pathogen being put into the body, and the body tries to fight that, right? So we're just going to fill another line here and show you how this goes. We'll add a little wiggle. And perfect. And so generally I put a little bit of pressure in here, just so that if there is some bleeding afterwards, the patient doesn't bruise. What we'll also do is we'll add an arnica cream. Arnica is an all-natural substance that we can find. It's a homeopathic, and it helps reduce any bruising. So you're getting this beautiful shine to the face, this beautiful glow, and then right afterwards we're helping the body heal up a little faster on top of that with a little bit of this arnica cream. All right, and so we're going to come right over here. Let me I'll try and move my hand so you all can see. It's rather painless. The needle doesn't penetrate. You don't try and, what's called burying the needle. We don't want the needle to disappear. We just want to go slightly underneath the skin. That way we can just add a little bit of solution and fill that line in. And that way when the patient leaves, they get up off the table, they will, wow, look, all those lines, all those wrinkles are filled in. This lasts for about a little over a week, which is why we recommend you come back every week. And then once the body realizes what you're trying to do, you go, great, and you don't need to come see us until either you feel like you should come see us or for about a year. Right. So we'll do a couple more of these shots so that you can see these areas here. This isn't just used for the forehead also. So you can use these injections around the face and lips, right? You can do the smile lines. So if we wanted to, we could inject right in here. We can inject here to help lift here so we can plumpen cheeks. One of the main things that I get from most ladies is they want their crow's feet taken care of. They always want the crow's feet taken care of. So one of the injections I can do is right along near the eye to help take care of crow's feet. Or we can do right along the jawline. And doing right along the jawline will help lift the skin in the neck. So for those who have a little bit of extra skin in the neck, injecting right around the jawline will help to lift that area and help lift most of the facial features. Right. So what we'll do now is I'll show you a little bit of this jawline area here. And so what we do for this area is we'll pinch and we'll just insert. And with these areas, we need to use a little bit more solution. So we'll inject a little bit more solution until what we see, what we call a wheal, right? So there's almost like a little bubble right under the skin. And we let it rest there. We leave our cotton ball on for about 30 seconds. And the body will start to absorb this, and when we take the cotton ball off, we will see that there's no more solution sitting right there under the skin, right? And the body will automatically do what it needs to do to lift and adjust. Another area that we can do is also right in here, right by the ears. This will also help lift. And so we'll pinch and inject. And then place a cotton ball on to rest. This treatment does take some time, so if you plan on coming in, it's not like you can just go and be done in 20 minutes. It takes about an hour for this treatment. So if you do plan to get facial injections or facial rejuvenation with our, expect about an hour. There's more needles involved than if we're dealing with certain situations like the common cold or more common problems like low back pain or knee pain. So it takes a little bit longer for us to place acupuncture needles. Facial injections take time as we need to inject the serum and then place a cotton ball on there so that there's minor bruising or no bruising at all. We like to use arnica because that just helps continually prevent any bruising. With that, I'm going to say thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Don't go away. When we come back, I'll be joined by Dr. Fuller. Stay with us.
Opioids are now a public health emergency in Florida. So what have you been prescribed for your pain? East West College of Natural Medicine understands the age-old Eastern philosophy of natural healing using acupuncture, herbs, and massage. Here, we combine Eastern and Western healing that results in a unified solution, individually tailored for you.
Massage is a powerful tool. It can alleviate pain, heal injury, and support well-being. East West College of Natural Medicine can prepare you for a career as a massage therapist. Our curriculum combines Western and Eastern massage therapy approaches, and the program includes an internship and job placement assistance. Launch a career you can feel good about. Start at ewcollege.edu. East West College of Natural Medicine, nurturing careers in the healing arts.
Welcome back to Natural Healing with Oriental Medicine, and I'm joined now by Dr. Brandon Fuller, and we just saw your demo out there. It was pretty involved.
It's a very involved procedure that we do at the college.
specifically when it comes to facial injections, right? It takes time and it's very methodical.
Exactly. Now, let's back up just for a second. Sure. What is facial rejuvenation?
Well, facial rejuvenation is essentially it's the process of beauty, right? And so when we talk about
enhancing looks,
yeah, and when we talk about facial rejuvenation, we talk mostly about non-surgical procedures, and that includes facial injections, chemical peels, photo rejuvenation, or laser hair removal, those sorts of things. I see. Yeah.
So in the past year, what's been the increase of procedures that has been done for beauty? I imagine it's on the rise.
It is. It is. The increase is actually quite huge. When we're thinking about the increase, though, in beauty procedures, we can't just think about the non-surgical piece. We have to think about both the surgical and that non-surgical. And
so the Western approach is like a facelift or something, or?
Yeah. So it's when I say surgical and non-surgical, we break it into subcategories. So the Western approach has those two subcategories, whether it's the injections that you get of Botox or the facelift or a tummy tuck. Mm-hmm. Right, and together when we combine them, we've seen a $1.5 billion increase in the industry just last year alone. That's a 7% increase overall.
That is huge.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about the total expenditures in the past year, that's the increase, but it's billions of dollars, it sounds like.
Right. You know, when I think 1.5 billion, I think, well, I could retire now, and my kids could retire, and their kids could retire.
Yes, a big demand for this product and this service, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's growing exponentially every year.
Now, since we discussed the injectable procedures, the total monetary expenditure for injectables last year, was that significant?
It was. It's actually what we see is a 10% increase just in the injectables overall, right? And again, when we bring it all back together, we see that it was over $15 billion.
Wow.
Total. So the non-surgical and the surgical brought together was $15 billion.
That's staggering. And is there any reason to believe that this growth won't continue on this path? It will continue to be increased demand?
Not at all. It just keeps increasing. But just so viewers can understand, I mean, when we talk about $15 billion, we go, wow, that's a lot of money. But to put it into context, think about this. We could buy the Cubs baseball team, we could buy the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey team,
yes,
and we could buy the Lakers basketball team 5 times and still have a couple million left over in the bank.
That's just staggering. So this is keeping, obviously, you very busy, along with a lot of colleagues, it sounds like. Now, as far as the injectables, what kinds are used for these non-surgical procedures?
Generally, most people know Botox, right? Which is what most people say. Oh yeah, I got Botox the other day. But there's a lot of others that we see, and some of them are like Restylane or Juvederm Ultra, and there's another one called Voluma, and those are just some of the top products that are out there right now.
And is there one that's trending, or the newest one, or do people always want to try something different, or?
Generally, what we've seen is patients will go have Botox done, and it works for quite a while. It works for a couple of months, and then they go back and they get more. But what the increase has shown us is that they are almost doubling up on these procedures too. So they're doing Botox and then they're doing Restylane. So they can have Botox along the frown lines of their forehead, and then Restylane along their cheeks to plump. And
Like for instance here, I have in between the eyes, this is an area where you could address something. Now would that be an injectable if you have a wrinkle just starting there, or how
generally,
would
yeah.
that-
Generally, what we would do is inject right in that area. So we would add a little bit of filler of some sort. At least on the natural side of things, we would use an all-natural type filler to help restore
Now, would
that
this
area.
serve to tighten it for a time, or does it just fill up the spot that has either sagged or whatever the case may be?
It's almost like a win-win. So you'd get that fill, but you'd also get that tightness. Right, so you can have a little bit of that tightening, and generally they'll inject collagen in there, something that the face needs to restore it
To
back to
continue,
that
and
younger
the
look.
face will use that to get you back to a youthful look. Now, what is the average age of patients to receive some of these treatments?
It was actually quite astonishing. It's generally, we see a 35 to about 50, and that makes up 39.9%. And of that, we can round it up to 40.
So 39 to 50,
Yeah.
that's almost 40% of the patients that you're getting in that age range?
Right, and then from 51 to about 65, that's about 30%. So overall, when we're looking at it in a gross sum, we're looking and we're saying, okay, about 70% of our patients are from the age of 35 to about 60, 65.
That's interesting, because I thought that maybe the older patients would want to have a bigger chunk, with this 39 to 50 category, a big population of the people using these procedures.
Yeah, it's actually, it's quite staggering. Then of course, then we have the outliers, right? So we have that 21 to 35, which is about 15%, and the 65.
So, just generally speaking, what would a 20-something, what would they want to have? I mean, they still have the youthful look, one would presume.
We do, but we're looking at it as all beauty procedures. So it might be a tummy tuck, or it might
Could be hair removal, or something.
or something of that nature. It could just be like a little laser hair removal, a small procedure, but it's still
Not like
it's
a major
added.
cosmetic procedure per se.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the top 5 non-surgical procedures that people generally receive?
Well, we looked at, or we discussed the facial injections, which is probably the big one that most people know. And
So
then
that'd be one.
Yeah, and then laser hair removal, the photo rejuvenation, the chemical
What is
peels.
photo rejuvenation? That's
Photo rejuvenation is, have you ever seen like a tattoo removal, right? And they use a little light and it pop, pop, pop,
Right.
pop, pop. Right, and so it's not exactly that same way, but it's similar. We use light therapy
On the face.
to help restore. So it could be a specific type of light that helps to bring in the blood flow to the area and help restore it to its natural look. And then hyaluronic acid is actually another one that's used quite often as a facial rejuvenator.
all right. So those 4 or 5 are the top ones that you generally get requested, or that you have, and you can do all this at East West. These procedures.
Those procedures, no, because they're considered the Western medical field. We don't go that
You do
direction.
the injections, though.
We do injections of homeopathic medicines and all natural medicine.
And we'll discuss that right after the break. Stay with us.
Opioids are now a public health emergency in Florida. So what have you been prescribed for your pain? East West College of Natural Medicine understands the age-old Eastern philosophy of natural healing using acupuncture, herbs, and massage. Here, we combine Eastern and Western healing that results in a unified solution, individually tailored for you.
Massage is a powerful tool. It can alleviate pain, heal injury, and support well-being. East West College of Natural Medicine can prepare you for a career as a massage therapist. Our curriculum combines Western and Eastern massage therapy approaches, and the program includes an internship and job placement assistance. Launch a career you can feel good about. Start at ewcollege.edu. East West College of Natural Medicine, nurturing careers in the healing arts.
Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill. What's happening on the Suncoast? Join us Fridays at 9:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. on Suncoast FYI to hear from local businesses and nonprofits to get the scoop. You won't want to miss it.
Welcome back. We're discussing facial treatments. I'm joined by Dr. Brandon Fuller. So what kind of treatments can a patient expect to receive?
Well, we were talking about facial injections, and at the college we do the all-natural facial injections and facial rejuvenation. But what they can expect is if they come, they can actually receive acupuncture for facial rejuvenation. And then there's also things like cupping, and I know people go cupping. Michael Phelps got that, and they had bruises, but it's not quite like that. It's more of a
smaller suction.
There's smaller suction. It's not as drastic as Michael Phelps. And with that we can do some electrical stimulation to the needles, which will give a little bit more facial tone for some patients that might need it.
Very interesting. So acupuncture, facial treatments, any other solutions that you use in the injection process?
Yeah, our solutions are homeopathics, and they're made from collagen elastin, and it's very, very minute amounts. So it's not that the body doesn't know what to do with them. And the body goes, oh, okay, I know what I need to do with this. And during the procedure,
the body accepts this.
Yeah, it's not some
substance.
Foreign substance that we're placing into the body. The body goes, oh, okay, I understand what you're trying to tell me here.
Right.
And then it works for us, rather than us putting a chemical in there and forcing it.
So how often should someone come to receive these facial treatments?
What we suggest is a course of treatments, and it's once a week for 10 weeks. And after that, then we tell patients that it can be between 3 and 6 months for a touch-up, so to say.
Okay, so how can the audience get in touch with you, with the college, to learn more about this and maybe even come in and get a procedure?
Yeah. So we can be reached at 941-355-9080, and they can call and just ask if they'd like to talk to me. They can just ask for Dr. Fuller. I'd be more than happy to answer questions, or they can just schedule an appointment in the professional clinic.
Outstanding, and you've been very busy, so that's great.
Yeah.
Dr. Fuller, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, and see you next time.
Massage is a powerful tool. It can alleviate pain, heal injury, and support well-being. East West College of Natural Medicine can prepare you for a career as a massage therapist. Our curriculum combines Western and Eastern massage therapy approaches, and the program includes an internship and job placement assistance. Launch a career you can feel good about. Start at ewcollege.edu. East West College of Natural Medicine, nurturing careers in the healing arts.